we started the list functions concept. In the list functions concept, till yesterday we finished it till sort function. Sort is a function which is used to sort all the attributes present in a list. And by default, sort function sorts the list attributes in ascending order. Whereas if you want to perform this sorting in descending order, inside this sort function, we need to use this reverse attribute. Whenever you specify reverse equals to true inside this sort function, it will sort that list in the form of descending order. If you want to sort any list in descending order inside this sort function, we need to specify reverse equals to true. Like this sort function, we have sorted function also. So in the list, we have sorted function also. Before that thing, here I'm defining one list and I'm separating different, we need to separate different attributes with commas only. Here it is the list which is defined by me. So after defining this list, I want to perform this sorting operations on this thing. I want to sort this list, sorted of L. So whenever you perform sorting on this thing, it will sort all the attributes which are present in this list in the form of ascending order. By default, it is also sorting in ascending order only. And I am observing the content present in L. So whenever you observe the content of L, whatever the thing you defined initially, that will be replicated there. That means sorted is an external function. As I told you yesterday itself, whatever the function you are using, whenever you specify the data structure name inside this parenthesis, that is an external function. And whatever the function you are saying with this dot operator, those are called as internal function. Here, if you perform sort operation, so to make it clear this, here I'm taking this example. In this sort, I'm not using any attribute and I'm observing the content which is present in L. Whenever you observe this thing, this will be permanently modified. Whenever you apply this sort function on this list attributes will be permanently rearranged in the ascending order. Here, sort is an internal function which modifies the internal content of this list, whereas this sorted is an external function. That is the difference between sort and sorted function. That is about sort and sorted functions. After that functions, we have this clear and delete function. So before that, we need to see remove and pop function. Coming to remove function, if you want to remove the any value present in the list, we need to use remove function. Whereas if you want to remove the any value by specifying the index, we need to use pop function. Pop and remove both are the function which are used to remove the value only, but the syntax will be the different thing. In the remove function, whatever the value you want to remove, you need to specify that value. Whereas in the pop function, you need to specify the index. So in the list, we have this thing as an output. And so remember this thing, in the sorted function also we can use reverse. In the sorted, we can use reverse also. Reverse equals to true means if you want to sort in descending order by using sorted function, you can do this thing also. Here we did not specify the list name. So here it is a sorting list in descending order. That is about this thing. After this thing, we have pop and remove function. In the remove function, we need to specify the value list name dot remove of. Here we need to specify the value which we want to remove. I am specifying 45 here. Whereas if you observe this thing, there is no 45 in this. So whenever you specify the not presented value inside this list, it returns value error. Remember this thing. It is a value error. So here if you specify the existed value, here I'm specifying 13. Whenever you specify the existed value, that will be removed permanently from this list. Whereas in this pop function, whatever the value you want to remove, here we need to specify the index corresponding to that value. So as you already aware of this thing, indexes always starts with 0. So here I want to remove the value which is present at the
ఓ అస్సలు అన్నయ్య మాట్లాడతలేడు మన
sorry for the interruption. I got one call. So here pop function. In the pop function, we need to specify the index. In this thing, I am specifying 1. Means at the 0th index we have 2, and at the first index we have 12 in it. And I am executing this portion. Whenever you execute this portion, this 12 will be removed from this list. Whenever you want to remove the value by using pop function, you need to specify the index. Whereas if you don't specify any attribute inside this pop function, by default it removes the value which is present at the last index. It is an important thing. By default, if you don't specify the any attribute in this pop function, by default it removes the value which is present at the last index. If you observe this thing, it will remove 35. Why? Because in this list last attribute is 35 only. That's why it removes 35. In the pop function, if you don't specify the any attribute, it will remove the value which is present in the last value. And I want to add, I want to add few values in this list. Why? Because in this list we have only one value now. I want to add 1 comma 4 comma 3. I want to add these values in this list. Sorry, we need to specify this thing in the list. We need to specify this entire thing as a single data structure, right? I'm specifying this thing as a list, and I'm observing the content of L. So here, this is the content which is present in this list. So initially we need to have 2. Yeah, here we have 2, 1, 4, 3, which I added into this list. After this thing, here I'm using clear function. So here, clear is a function which is used to clear all the attributes present in a list. So before this thing, here I'm using reverse function to reverse the existed data structure. In this thing, here initially I'm using reverse function, and after this thing, I am observing the output corresponding to this thing. Whenever you apply reverse function on it, so by default, this entire list attributes will be reversed. Whatever the value present at the 0th index, that will be come at the end of this list, and whatever the value which is present at the end of the list, that will be come at the first location. That is the purpose of this reverse function. Whereas if you want to perform this thing, we can perform this thing by using basic slicing also. How to do this thing by using basic slicing? Colon colon -1. Here it is the basic slicing to reverse the any list. Whereas we have reverse function also here. After this thing, we have clear function. So clear is a function which is used to clear all the attributes present in a list. Clear is the function which is used to clear all the attributes present in a list, and it returns an empty list as an output. Clear is a function which is used to clear all the attributes of the list, and it returns an empty list as an output. Whenever you observe the output corresponding to this clear function, it will return an empty list. That is the purpose of clear function. Whereas if you want to delete the entire list, we need to use delete function. So here it is an external function, and after observing the output of this L, it returns output like this thing. Why? Because here we remove this L permanently. So here, so in the interviews from this topic, you might get a questions like, what is the difference between this clear and delete functions? For that, clear is the function which is used to clear all the attributes corresponding to list data structure, and it returns an empty list. Whereas delete function, which is used to delete entire list. And the next question is, what is the difference between pop and remove? So if you want to remove the any value, we need to use remove function. So here, so I will ask a little bit tricky questions to you. In this thing here, I have 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 2 comma 1, and on this thing I want to remove the value. I want to remove the value 2 from it. So whenever you specify this thing, what happens? So if you apply this thing on 8, it will remove the value which is present at the starting location. That means it starts searching from the starting onwards. Whenever the value which is specified that will occur, then it removes that value and it returns the remaining thing as an output. Whereas now I want to remove the value which is present at this location. I want to remove the 2 which is present at this location. For that purpose, we need to use index. For that purpose, we need to use pop function. So if you have duplicates values in any data structure, if you want to remove the value present at any specific location, on such cases, we need to use this pop function. If you want to remove this 2 by using pop function, what we need to do? 0th index, first index, second index. Here, we need to specify 2. So here, 2 will be removed, and it is the output corresponding to this list. So if here it is about the thing in the remove function. So if the in the list, if duplicate values are present, whenever you apply the remove function, by default it will remove the value, whatever the value which is occurred first time. That is the thing you need to remember from this topic. So here it is about list, and try to apply all these list functions on the tuple concept and observe the differences between both the things. So whatever the function which we are performing to modify the content, those are not applicable on the tuple data structure. Why? Because tuple is an immutable data structure, whereas all the external functions we can easily apply on the tuple also. After the tuple, we have two more data structures. Those are set and dictionary. Next concepts are set and dictionary concept. In the Python, sets are defined in square brackets. So here, sorry, flower brackets. In the Python, first point corresponding to sets is these are defined in square brackets, and set attributes also separated with commas only. If you want to separate the set attributes, we need to separate with commas only. The next point corresponding to this thing is these are mutable or changeable data type. Set attributes are mutable or changeable data types. Coming to next point, these are unordered collection of items. These are unordered collection of items. Whereas coming to unordered collection of items, whereas coming to list and tuple, those are ordered collection of items. Coming to this set, internally by default, it will form hash tables. It will form hash table kind of structures. To make you clear this example, I will create one hash table so that you will get clear idea of this thing. So before that thing, I will explain you this. So after completing this basic concepts of this set, I will explain you that thing. Yeah, no problem. So in the PDF, I added that thing. Go through that PDF so that you will get how to create those hash tables. So coming to next point, here duplicates are not allowed. Coming to this set data structure, duplicates are not allowed. Duplicates are not allowed. These are mutable data types, unordered collection of items. These are defined in square brackets, and these are like mathematical set only. Whatever the sets we are using in the basic mathematics, it will work like that only. So here I'm defining one set, and in this set, here I'm specifying some attributes. Here I'm saying 8 comma 1 comma 10 comma 99 comma 55 comma 1 sorry 1 comma 8. Here I specified these attributes inside this set. To know the data type, we need to apply type function, and I'm checking the type of this set. After this thing, it is giving output like set, and I'm observing the content which is present in the set. Whenever you observe the content of this set, so here order is not like whatever I specified. By default, we need to get, so coming to the list and tuple data structure, whatever the order we are specifying, on that order attributes are coming. Whereas if we observe this thing, here it is not following the particular order. Here it is not following the same order. That's why these are called as unordered collection of items. We can modify the content of this thing. So here by using add function is that add. So if you want to add any function like append function, here we have add function. So by using this function in this thing, I am adding 66, and I'm observing the content of S. Whenever you observe the content of S, this 66 will be added into this thing. Whereas it is not adding at the end of this thing. So here it is coming in between. That's why these are called as unordered collection of items. We can modify the content of this thing. That's why these are called as unordered collection of items. After this thing, in this, if you observe, duplicates are not allowed. If you observe this example, here I specified 8 comma 1's 2 times. In this, we have 8 2 times as well as 1 2 times. Whereas if you observe this set output, here it is coming only one time. One. So here in this example, we have only one time, and 8 is also present only one time. That is about the basics of this set concept. So like extend function, if you want to if you want to update this thing, we have update function. Here, if you want to update any set with the other set, we have update function. In it, here I'm specifying some values. I'm specifying 55, 33, 44. Like that, I'm specifying some random values. After this thing, I'm running this portion, and I'm doing this thing. Whenever we want to update one set with the another set, we need to use this update function. So set concept is that much not that much important. So if you want to go through this thing, if you want to learn this set concept clearly, after finishing this class or after finishing dictionary concept, I will forward you this content with you. So here, like mathematical set operations, here we can perform lot of operations. So here we have in this set we have union function. We can perform this union function by using this symbol also, and intersection function, and is subset, is superset. These are the validation function. Like this, we have lot of function. If you want to observe all these functions, so better to go with ideally. So in this ideally, initially, yeah, here I'm saying set equals to, in this flower brackets, here I'm specifying 1 comma 2 only. I'm specifying only 2 attributes. After this thing, I am pressing on s dot and I'm clicking on down arrow. Whenever you click on down arrow, so here it is returning all the functions corresponding to this thing. So these all are the functions which are meant for set. These all are the functions which are meant for set. In these functions, few functions are similar to the list functions only, whereas few more functions also added to this concept. So go through the PDF. So I will forward you that PDF after finishing this class. Yeah, after this thing, we have dictionary concept. In the dictionary concept, so here also same thing. Dictionary is also defined with this flower brackets only, whereas in this dictionary, attributes are in the form of key value pairs. Here in the dictionary, key values are separated with the colons. Key values are separated with the colons, and it is the syntax to define a dictionary. First we need to specify the key, and the next we need to specify the value with the colon, and this entire key value pair will be separated with comma only. This entire key value pair will be separated with comma only. After this thing, next point is these are ordered collection of items. Means whatever the order we are specifying while defining this thing, on that order only it will return the output. So here, if you want to create an empty set, we have set typecasting function. So here set is a typecasting function which is used to convert any data type in the form of set. Or in order to create an empty set also, we need to use this typecasting function only. So here I'm saying type of s. Whenever you say type of s, it will return set as an output. This is about set. After this thing, so in order to create an empty dictionary, we have dict function. To create an empty dictionary, we have dictionary function. Here I'm defining one dictionary. So how to define this dictionary? First we need to specify the key. Here I am specifying the key as 1. For this key, I want to separate key and values with the colon, and I want to specify the value as 1. After this thing, key and value pair, we need to separate with the comma. Here I am specifying the 2, and with this 2, here I am specifying the value 2 corresponding to this key. It is a dictionary. I define one dictionary and I want to know the data type of this dictionary. For that purpose, here I am saying type of D. Whenever you say type of D, it will return output in the form of dictionary. And if you want to get, see previously, if you want to access the any values from the list or tuple, we need to specify the indexes. Whereas if you want to access the any value, here in this thing we need to specify the key. Whenever you want to access any value from the dictionary, we need to specify the key. And yeah, here in this example, I want to access the value which is presented the with the second key. Whenever you specify this thing, it will return this thing as an output. Whereas if you want to access the value which is presented the first key, here we need to specify this thing. Whereas if you want to create new key value pair, so if you want to create new value pair, or if you want to add new key value pair in this dictionary, here it is the syntax. So here you need to specify the value. It is the syntax to create new key value pair in the dictionary. So after this thing, I'm adding new key value pair in it. In this, here I'm saying 3 d of 3 with the d of 3 name. Here I want to create one more value with the 3. So whenever you observe this dictionary, in this dictionary we have this thing will be added into this dictionary. Whenever you want to add one key value pair in the dictionary, here it is the syntax. Whereas if you want to get all the keys present in the dictionary, we have keys function. Keys is a function which is used to get all the keys present in the dictionary, whereas values is a function which is used to access all the values present in a dictionary. So here keys is a function which is used to access all the keys present in the dictionary, and values is a function which is used to access all the values present in the dictionary. Like that, items is a function which is used to create, which is used to access key value pairs in from the dictionary. So here it returns key value pairs in the form of list of tuples. That is the purpose of this items function. Like that, so if you want to update one dictionary with another dictionary, we have update function. In this update function, here I want to add this dictionary with one more dictionary. In this thing here I'm saying I'm defining one key with the orange name. So here I'm saying 23 and I'm running this portion and I'm observing the output of D. Whenever you observe the output of this thing, this orange and 23 key value pair will be updated in this thing. Why? Because here in this update function, I am specifying one dictionary. So I will forward you the PDF corresponding to this data structure concept. I specify a lot of content in it. Go through that thing till this basic concepts only. Don't go to the much depth. You won't get that entire stuff. So till this, it is more than enough to you.